Keir Starmer said he had full confidence in Rachel Reeves and said she had dealt with any issues that arose from her career in retail banking after claims the Chancellor was investigated for alleged misuse of expenses and made inaccuracies on her CV. And Reeves' career history has been put under scrutiny again after an investigation by the revealed that her time working at the Bank of England was 9 months shorter than she claimed, and that her use of expenses while working at HBOS was subject to an internal investigation. And there was an internal investigation and no conclusion of wrongdoing was reached. A whistleblower blamed Reeves and her two managers' use of expense. Whistleblower claimed Reeves and two other managers' use of expenses was excessive, telling the BBC they had a very cavalier attitude regarding the budget in her department. What, like a banker, you mean? A cavalier attitude to money? Bankers literally make money. Like bakers make bread. Bakers come home covered in flour. Bankers come home covered in money. Reeves' spokesmodel said the Chancellor had never been questioned about her expenses while she was at the bank and believed that all items she put through on expenses were within company rules, which they were. Documents seen by the reporters for the contained evidence that the three managers' use of expenses on taxes and gifts included for each other. Did that make sense? Shall I read it again?
No.
Evidence about the three managers' use of expenses on taxes and gifts, including for each other, were upended by these reporters. The whistleblower's report claimed she spent, get ready, you might want to sit down, massive number coming at you. The whistleblower's report, and this is the extent of it, claimed she had spent £152 on a bag and perfume as a present for her boss using the bank's money. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, when she worked at a place that makes money, spent £152 on a present for the boss of the place that makes money. And there was an investigation, and it concluded no wrongdoing had taken part, and the spent hours of their very expensive reporters' time on investigating that. I can't wait till they dig into Bodger's expenses. I mean, there was the cushions and the sofas and the gold wallpaper and the exotic holidays and the free lunches for a month or months on end, biked round by an actual butler, literally on the edge of my seat waiting for that report to come out, ain't we, Bodge?
I can't comment on that.
And here's the story buried beneath the headline of outrage. Jane Waper, former HR business partner for HBOS, the bank concern, said, I do not recognise any of the accusations or claims that have been made against Rachel Reeves. And it was her job to recognise any of them, and they weren't there. She said, in my role, I would have been made aware of any investigation which concluded there was a case to answer. I would have been required to organise and oversee a disciplinary process. This did not happen. Under the Financial Conduct Authority's rules, any such accusations would have had to have been properly investigated. She said, under the company's then expenses policy, birthday gifts and Christmas presents could be purchased using motivational credit cards. Indeed, staff were encouraged to do so. Talking about a crime that never happened. David Sorensen, the managing partner at Morrish Solicitors, who acted on behalf of Rachel Reeves when she left HBOS in 2009, said, my clear understanding at the time was that my client, who was in a senior role, left on good terms when HBOS was acquired in 2009, as evidenced by the payments made to her, her retention of her company car, and other benefits for a 6-month period, and a favourable reference. He said absolutely no allegations of wrongdoing or misconduct were mentioned by the HBOS Human Resources team during this process. So the story is, there's no story.